Welcome to the 3-day Emotional Intelligence Masterclass, where insight meets impact and every session promises transformation. Get ready to be equipped, enlightened, and empowered by 3 exceptional minds, professionals who don't just teach emotional intelligence, they embody it. First up, a man whose name echoes across development, human rights, and peace-building landscapes. Dr. Glory Turngu, with over 30 years of field expertise, has worked with UNDP, UNICEF, and ActionAid, and now leads the Kaduna State Office of the National Human Rights Commission. A visiting scholar, a conflict transformation strategist, and a global fellow, Dr. Turngu is a voice of wisdom change. Next, a dynamic legal advocate and ADR powerhouse. Laura, for her bold leadership, sharp intellect, and calm conflict resolution touch. She's the lead mediator at Fansa Mediation Center, head of ADR training at FOMA ADR, and a shining light in Nigeria's legal mediation and peace-building circles. And finally, the visionary behind Mediation Matters with Gabriel Anovo. Gabriel K. Anovo, a chartered mediator, conflictologist, emotional intelligence coach, and principal partner at GEO and Associates ADR Hub. With a deep passion for justice and empathy-driven communication, Gabriel is bridging gaps in access to peace and dialogue across Nigeria. Together, they bring a fusion of legal brilliance, developmental insight, conflict transformation, and emotional intelligence mastery. Fasten your seatbelts, it's time to connect with your inner power, master your emotions, and unlock your leadership potential. Please make welcome your elite facilitators for this journey of growth and transformation. Dr. Glory Turngu, Laura Bismarck Emerole, and Gabriel K. Anovo.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, get ready to learn from one of Nigeria's most dynamic voices in legal advocacy and peace building. She is Laura Bismarck Emerole, a seasoned legal professional and alternative dispute resolution expert. Called to the Nigerian bar in 2012, she holds a master's degree in conflict management and peace studies from the reputable Nigerian Defense Academy. She brings over a decade of transformative experience in mediation, negotiation, and conflict resolution. She currently heads the Alternative Dispute Resolution and Training at FAMA ADR, serves as lead mediator at Fansa Mediation Center, and is the vice chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Kaduna branch. She also plays key leadership roles in Class Fund, the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, MTI, and Kaduna State Small Claims Court Committee. With unmatched felicitation and negotiation skills, please welcome a passionate peace builder and emotional intelligence advocate, Laura Bismarck Emerole.
At the comment section. Can I have a thumbs up at the comment section if you can hear me well? Okay, thank you. Okay, I might need to stop my video for a while because of connection issues in my area. Hope you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so we'll be going right into our class, tonight, which is Mastering Emotional Intelligence for Personal Growth, Conflict Resolution, and Transformational Leadership. Thank you for that great intro, Mr. Chai, Mr. Gio. Okay, so let's go ahead. From the outline, we have our introduction, our definition, IQ versus EQ, components of EI, characteristics of EI, importance of EI, developing EI assessments, challenges of EI, and conclusion. Let's go ahead, sir. Emotions We all have emotions. From the pictures, you can see the different emotions there: feelings, happiness, sadness, surprise, disgust, anger. You can identify with them. I'm sure in a day we can have varying emotions depending on when and how, mood swings and the rest. So we see that this is biologically driven. It's cross-cultural responses to your environment, environmental stimuli. It's like our warning system as to what is really going around us. You can imagine at times we call something transferred aggression. When somebody has been upset from home, gets to the office, and the person begins to shout at everyone, and you're wondering, or you've heard about the statement, did you wake up on the wrong side of bed this morning? You see, all this environmental stimuli can lead to different emotions that we give. Okay, next, sir. So, what is emotional intelligence? We say it is the ability to, number one, you're able to recognize. Number two, you're able to understand. Number three, you're able to manage and influence emotions, not just in yourself, but also others. You're able to recognize, you're able to understand, you're able to manage and influence emotion in oneself and others. You've heard about the statement that a soft answer turneth away wrath. That is, when somebody gives fire, you don't give fire, fire for fire. Mm-mm. A soft answer can just break the person. So this was coined by Peter Salovey and John Mayer in their books and the rest, and you see in Daniel Goleman's book. So this concept of IQ has gained widespread relevance because people are beginning to recognize that it's not just about IQ. It's, I'm sure even you yourself, back then when you were in university or secondary school, just cast your mind back with the best brains in your class and everything. So if that person doesn't work on his EQ, we see that IQ alone will not sustain you. Okay, can we move ahead, sir? So we see it has gained AI experience in different fields, leadership, education, law, and everything. So basically, IQ means what? Intelligence quotient. While EQ means emotional quotient, and EI means emotional intelligence. EQ stands for emotional quotient, while EI stands for emotional intelligence. So what is EQ? Emotional quotient is the quantitative measure of the emotional intelligence of an individual. So you can say EQ, which is emotional quotient, is the quantitative measure of EI of an individual. So the EQ is the measure of the EI. So research has shown that IQ can help you to be successful. Yes, you could get a first class, your scholarship, you go to the greatest schools and everything. Yes, you can be successful. However, that success is to the extent of 20% only in life. The rest of the 80% success depends on your EQ. So we can say when you have 100%, 20% is IQ, why 80% is EQ. So all our psychologists, psychiatrists, management consultants, medical doctors, they've been proving over and over again that personal characteristics, your EI, is responsible for the way you behave, how you feel, how you relate to others, how well you do at your jobs, even how healthy you are also, all has to do with your EI or EQ, as the case may be. Some people are not able to manage some of these things well, but when you're able to manage this very well, you see that, and that's the essence of this master class that we are on today. So, emotional intelligence tendencies, it can result in, depending on, you hear when we say, okay, we've heard of the different types of personalities, the sanguines, the phlegmatic, um, the phlegmatics, the sanguines, the choleric, and the melancholic. So, emotional intelligence tendencies can result in being uncomfortable with other people. You hear some people tell you, "I'm not a people's person." They're not happy with their job. They're not succeeding at their job. Some people are not even, they don't love what they do. They'll tell you it's just salary that joins me and this person together. I'm not happy at what I do. I just go to work just to provide for my family. And it has a lot to do how you succeed at your job, or even your physical being, well-being, and your health. All has a lot to do with the EI of somebody. Are we together? If we're together, please give me a thumbs up in the column section so that I know you're following. Okay. So again, I've not, okay, Bello, thank you, Bello. I can see your thumbs up. I'm waiting for thumbs up of others if we're together. Government's model of emotional intelligence identify five components that underpins emotional intelligence. Number one is self-awareness. Thank you, Blessing. I can see your thumbs up. Self-awareness. What is self-awareness? You know what you're feeling and you know why you're feeling it. You know yourself. Self-regulation. Thank you, Deborah. Self-regulation, controlling or redirecting disruptive emotions and disruptive tendencies. Motivation, working for reasons beyond money or status. You hear people say, I'm passionate about this cause. It's not just about the money for me. I've seen where people left very good, well paying jobs just to go for something they are passionate about, something they love doing, about motivation. Then also empathy, understanding the emotions of others, social skill, managing relationship effectively. All these are parts of Goldman's model of emotional intelligence, the five components. So we move ahead. Self-awareness, we say, it's foundation. So you must know yourself. You must know who you are. Self-awareness enables individuals to recognize their emotional states, and this will help to lead to what? To better decision making and authentic interactions. Self regulation refers to the ability to manage your emotions constructively. It involves you staying calm under pressure. In fact, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I saw a video of a young lady, a student. She was, I'm sure, a university environment. She was outside. She was taking, was it kunu she was taking? She was eating her biscuits and sipping kunu. And picked one out of her biscuits and started eating it. Do you know she maintained her calm? There was no emotions displayed. She didn't even shake or anything. She sat down calmly. The guy went ahead, took the other biscuits. She was so calm. She didn't even move. The guy ate it. He took the third one again. He now went ahead and took the bottle and was sipping the drink. She was so calm. She didn't even move. She didn't make any sound. Then later, the guy now pointed her attention to the fact that she was being videoed. There was a camera, and she just busted out laughing. That is somebody that is self-aware that no matter what you do to me, I wouldn't get ruffled. I wouldn't get moved by anything. So we see that self-awareness is foundational to emotional intelligence. It enables the individual to recognize your emotional states. It leads to better decision making and authentic interaction. Then again, self regulation refers to the ability to manage emotions constructively. It involves staying calm under pressure, adapting to changing circumstances. For those who are mediators, you've seen different issues and different matters where you're able to calm down, you're able to calm persons down. So, motivation will drive individuals to pursue goals with energy and persistence. Emotionally intelligent people are typically self motivated and optimistic, even in the face of setback. You tell yourself it's just a passing phase, this phase will pass, and you stay optimistic, you stay calm, you stay down. So, in fields like education, law, mediation, that empathy is very, very important. Empathy is what? It's the capacity to sense other people's feeling and perspective. Empathy is different from sympathy. You're not sympathizing with the person, but you're empathizing with the person. You understand what the person is going through. You can see what the person is going through, and you are able to relate with the person's condition. So, also social skills. It refers to proficiency in managing relationships. It includes effective communication, leadership, conflict resolution, and team collaboration. When you do all these are parts of your self-awareness, motivation, empathy, your social skill. So what are the characteristics of a high EQ person? Number one, you see that the EQ person, there's a time to wait, there's a time to watch. You sense the environment, you sense the realities, you sense the circumstance. You know when to wait, you know when to watch. There's a time, yes, there's a time for everything. You know when to be aggressive. Why? Because you're self aware, you're motivated. So there's a time to be together, there's a time to be alone, a time to fight, a time to love, a time to work, a time to play, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to confront issues. There's a time to withdraw. There's a time to speak and a time to be silent. Can you remember the scenario during the last election, the good luck election? Remember the INEC staff? If anybody remembers his name, can you put it on the comments box? The former INEC man, Jiga. In fact, we had the language that Jigaism, the act of being calm, even under intense pressure. We saw when the clerk was so agitated, he was so calm. He didn't even make noise, he didn't even do anything. Yes, a Tyro Jiga, thank you, Bello. So we said you've been jigad or jigaism. He was so calm under the pressure. Why? He understood the times. He knew that there was a time to speak and a time to be silent. It's just like, can you imagine you, a sane person, arguing with a man that is not mentally stable? People would even call the mentally stable man okay and you not being okay. So, a time to be patient, a time to decide. I remember also a scenario. I was negotiating a roundabout. And of course, when you're negotiating a roundabout, they say you have the right of way. And so I was negotiating the roundabout. Of course, I assumed, of course, we have this feeling that when you're driving, you don't drive for yourself alone, you drive for others also. I was negotiating the roundabout and I was minding my business going. And when we got to the junction, the roundabout itself, a car just came and crossed my path. And the man came down and blocked my path. I was like, can't you see? Can't you see? And I was wondering in my mind, didn't you go to driving school? The person on the roundabout is supposed to have the right of way. You were coming from the other side. He was so angry. You could see him, as in, he was mad. He was sweating. He came down from the car, opened the car, came to my side of the car, and I just sat down there patiently. And he was shouting, I have your type in my house. I have 4 of your type in my house. He was so upset that, didn't you see me? Why didn't you stop? What? He was making noise. I didn't say anything. I just sat down there calm. When he finished, he said, foolish. And he entered the car and he drove off. And when he drove off, I continued my journey. Imagine I now responded to him and telling him, Oga, they see. Oga, can't you see it will make, because people will now see, you can imagine myself quarreling with somebody on the road. Before you know, you can give me a hot slap or even push me on the road, or before you know, something will happen. So, characteristic of a high EQ person, you see all these characteristics. Remember, we talked about self motivation, self awareness. You're aware of yourself. It's just like a rubber band. You know when you're being stretched. You know when to take a break. You know when to take a walk, when to keep calm and when to keep quiet. You know how not to be pressured, how to stay calm under circumstance. Thank you. Can we move on? Then also, we have also characteristics of a low EQ person, apart from the characteristics of a high EQ person. Next slide, please. Characteristics of a low EQ person. Why an high IQ person knows is self-aware. A low EQ person will say, okay, if I had a different job, this would have been better, a better high paying job. I believe things would be better for me, blah, blah, blah. If only I had finished graduation, if only I had been handsome. I wish I was beautiful. I wish my nose was pointed. I wish I was light skinned. I wish I was taller. I wish I had a little weight. If only my spouse had stopped drinking. If only I'd been born rich and famous. If only Dangote was my father. If only I had good contact. If only I belonged to the family of Tinubu. If only I was in the presidency. If only I had better friends. If only I'd married somebody else. If. These are the characteristics of a low EQ person. You keep finding excuses. So, what's the importance of emotional intelligence? Numerous studies have shown that EI is a greater predictor of professional success than IQ. Remember, we said at the beginning that IQ is just 20% of success rates, while EQ is 80%. In leadership, emotionally intelligent individuals, they inspire, they influence, they guide teams more effectively. In mediation and law, we said empathy and emotional regulation are vital for managing disputes and facilitating resolution. EI also supports mental well being. It helps to reduce stress, enhancing resilience, and fostering positive social connections. Everybody wants to be around a high EQ person. So we see two different viewpoints about AI. If you're still with me, can I get a thumbs up from you? If we're together, can I get a thumbs up from you? Two viewpoints about AI. The traditionalists will say that emotions will distract us. Thank you, Sunday. Thank you so much, Sunday. A traditionalist will say, it distracts us. It includes our vulnerability. Why should I be vulnerable with persons around me? Thank you, Deborah. The traditionalists will also say it clouds our judgment. Then somebody else will say what? It inhibits free flow of data. You must control it. It makes you as if you're weak. But thank you, Khadija Madaki. A high performer person will say, emotions, wow, it motivates us. It increases our confidence. It speeds our analysis. You're able to build trust, provide vital feedback, and must be managed. These are the things that high performers will say about emotions. So there was a study that was carried out on 80 PhD persons by EQ Consortium, and they wanted to see the test was carried out on their emotional, their personality tests, their IQ tests. They were interviewed in the 1950s. They were all graduates of students at Berkeley's. 40 years later, the same people were tracked down in their early 70s, and estimates were made of their successes based on their resumes, evaluations by experts in their own fields, and sources like the American Men and Women of Science. And it's interesting what the results came out with. Next slide, please. The results that came out of this is that they found out that social and emotional abilities were a whooping 4 times, I mean 4 times, 4 times more important than IQ in establishing professional success and prestige. I mean 4 times, not one, not two, 4 times more. That was the result of the EQ on EQ consortium. Can we move ahead? So some myths about and facts about EI. Some people will tell you, some people will tell you that being EI, emotional intelligence, it does not mean it's not being weak, submissive, or defensive personality. That's some of the myths they'll tell you. If the person is weak, no, 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 you're not a strong person. You're showing a defensive personality. Then also there's this myth that being highly emotional intelligent does not mean being extra nice, polite, or sugarcoating your language. That or in our local parlance, you hear some people say "dobale." Also, the females are not superior to males in expressing their experiences or expressing their emotions as most of us tend to believe incorrectly. In fact, the research shows that male are equally emotional when compared to female. Again, there's this myth that there is no direct evidence to prove that EQ is dependent upon hereditary. So it's not about, okay, you inherited this thing from your parents. It's like a myth. However, it's research has shown that the environment does seem to influence EQ. The environment does seems to influence people. Another myth is that advocating emotional intelligence does not mean that we are promoting low scores or average IQ people. Because some people will tell you, okay, since you're saying that emotional intelligence is like 4 times more than somebody with EQ, is it not now you're saying that IQ doesn't really matter, but that if you have EQ, you just show IQ back? No, that's not what we are saying. What we are saying is that that's like one of the myths that people have. Then also some people are saying that having average EQ is not bad, it's not undesirable. That's like also a myth. And again, we're not negating IQ. In fact, you can imagine when somebody has a high IQ and a high EQ. That combination, wow, is the most ideal personality. It will be what? A win-win situation because there's a high IQ and there's also a high EQ. Okay, we move ahead. As we said earlier, emotional and social intelligence measures 18 competencies. These 18 competencies has been distributed under the 5 known clusters. We spoke about it at the beginning: the self-awareness, the self-management, stroke regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill. These competencies are behaviors that demonstrate the skills, the knowledge, and experience required to successfully perform effectively on the job. When you know yourself, when you know how to manage yourself, you're able to motivate others. Like what we say in mediation, you need to have that self care before you're able to care for others. So, what are some of the competencies of emotional intelligence? We talked about self awareness. You know your internal state. In fact, that's why it's very important for you to also your know who you are, know your combination, your personality traits. When you do that, you're able to avoid some situations. You're able to stay clear of some things that will trigger some things in you. For example, somebody that has Anger, thank you, Alayami. Self-discovery. You know yourself, you know your breaking point, you know when you're being overstretched, you know when to stop. See, when we talked about an emotional intelligent person, he knows the time to speak, he knows the time to stay quiet, he knows what to do at the right time. Then emotional awareness, you recognize your own emotions. Because if there is no self care, you don't know your emotions, how do you want to handle somebody else's emotions? So, self awareness is very, very important. Then, accurate self assessment. You're able to assess yourself, you know your strengths, you know your limits. In fact, there are some cases for us mediators and lawyers, there's some cases you don't take. Imagine somebody that has gone through abuse as a child, or somebody that's gone through domestic violence, or the person is now a judge, they're bringing such case before the person. You get, there might be issue of bias there might be no objectivity, because instead of empathizing with the person begins to sympathize with the other person, because the person begins to mirror his own experiences through that person, and it's as if you're reopening the wound all over again. So when there's this self-awareness, and you see that the self-awareness also has three clusters: emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, you're being objective here, then self-confidence. Emotional awareness, you recognize your emotion, you recognize their effects. You're able to assess yourself accurately. Objectivity. You know your strength, you know your limits. There's self confidence. You have a strong sense of your own self worth, your capability. This all are part of what? Self management. And apart from self management, there should be self regulation. It refers to managing your own internal states, your impulses, your resources. Self management cluster contains six competencies. Under self management, we have six competencies. Number one, emotional self control. You keep destructive emotions and impulses in check. You hear somebody tell you, I have an anger management issue, or I have anger issues. If you have anger issues, do you know it's about knowing yourself and regulating yourself? These are the things that can trigger the anger. You know you're overly sensitive to some issues. You just learn to, okay, you need to be less sensitive. You need to ignore some things. Because the truth is that I was speaking with somebody yesterday, and I said something, the person left. Then later the person came back and said, look, I needed to tell you everything on my mind. That if I keep this, it will be eating me up. I was like, okay, spill it out. What's the issue? And she began to open up and say something, that there was a comment I made about cultural issues and everything. So I now opened up to her and told her, okay, look at the reasons for this thing. And I told her, I said, look, you're already battling blood pressure issues. It's not everything you take to mind. There's some things you need to be less sensitive, because at times you make a statement and you don't really attach anything to it, but the other person, the way the person perceives it, the person takes it. So we have to be sensitive to different person. Anyway, I apologized for it, and she also apologized, because her reaction, and I just sat down like, okay, what did I say that made this person very impulsive and overly angry? So I noticed that there was an issue on ground already, and that triggered the light comment I made, and she attached it together. So we must be able to control our emotions. We must keep destructive emotion and impulses in check. There are times you just want to make an impulse comment. Any which way, do we still do impulsive buying this period? Some people will tell you, I went to the market, it wasn't on my list, I did impulsive buying. Well, that's if you have extra cash to do that. So the same way, how women go to the market and write their list and say, okay, I'm not going to go outside this list. This is what I want to get. No impulsive buying. We need to be intentional. We keep destructive emotions and impulses in check. Then trustworthiness also will maintain standards of honesty and integrity. The point is, will people be able? No, I'm still on the slide. Please go back to the last slide. I'm not done there. Okay, yes. Trustworthiness. No, the next. Yes, trustworthiness. Uh, uh, are we able, can people say, okay, yes, I can rely on this person? Is this person honest enough? Is there enough integrity? Can we take his word or our word for it? Then conscientiousness, taking responsibility for your personal performance and achievement, not shifting blames. You hear some people say it's because of this happened, because of that happened. No. When you take responsibilities for your action, for your personal performance and achievement, and you stand by it. Adaptability. You're flexible to change. You're not being rigid. You take responsibility for personal performance and you move ahead. You do what you need to do per time. Another thing, and also flexibility in handling change. You're able to move with the tide of things, not being rigid and say no. As we always say, that change begins with you. You're being innovative. You're comfortable with novel ideas. You're not blocking your mind and saying, no, this is the way we've been doing it. This is the way we'll continue to do it. You're comfortable with novel ideas, approaches, new information. You're not being strict, too overly rigid. Yes, next slide. You're able to be flexible. You're able to manage things and able to fit into new set of doing things. Then also motivation, as we said, then achievement drive. You're striving to improve or meet a standard of excellence. And I believe that's why you're even attending this masterclass. Because for a lot of you here, you already know what emotional intelligence is all about, but you're saying, no, I want to improve myself. I'm striving for excellence. I want to get to a certain standard. Commitment, you align yourself with the goals of the group or organization. For those of us that drive, when one tire is low, what do? You take it to the person to pump it. You tell them, please check if it's balanced. There's alignment. I need my tires to be aligned. You see the car swerving into a different place. So when you're committed, you align with the goals of your group or your organization. You have initiative, readiness to act on opportunities. It's a when luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. You're prepared for it. You don't just wait for it to be dropped into your lap. You're getting yourself set and getting yourself prepared for it. You're optimistic. You're persistent in pursuing that goal. Yes, there'll be setback. Yes, there'll be obstacles. But you're telling yourself, I refuse to give up. I'll keep going ahead. Then empathy. You're not sympathetic to the person's cause, but you have empathy. You're able to leave your own perspective and go to the perspective of others and see through their eyes, see what they are going through and understand them. And that's how you understand others. You sense other people's feeling, you sense other people's perspective, you take an active interest in their concern, developing others. You're sensing other people's developmental needs. You bolster their abilities. You're even able to serve as, act as mentor to people. You're able to have mentees. You do not hide success. You don't want to just be a tree. You say a tree cannot make a forest. You're able to replicate yourself in others. You're able to show people the way. You're able to develop them. You see a need in others and you tell them, oh, you give them advice. Oh, I can see you succeeding in this area. You're able to push them and support the younger ones. Then again, you have service orientation. You're anticipating, recognizing, you're meeting customers' needs anywhere you are. You say the customer is king. You're able to meet their needs. You're willing to help others in your church, in your mosques, in your various business place. You're willing to be of service to people. You leverage on diversity. You do not just say, okay, Mutumi now, or this one is our people, that one is not our people. No. You're able to cultivate opportunities through different kinds of people. You can interact with everyone. You're not overly sensitive when you're not in quotes with people of the same faith or people of the same ethnicity. You're able to flow with the tide. You know that statement say when you're in Rome, you behave like the Roman, or when you're in Nigeria, you behave like the Nigerian, if there's anything like that. But you're able to leverage on diversity. You're politically aware. You're reading a group's emotional current and power relationship. You know that, okay, this system we've been doing for a long time is no longer working. There needs to be a change, and you move ahead with it. So we move along, we move to social skills. This is where you're influential person. You're able to word effective tactics for persuasion. People are able to listen to you. You're a good influencer. People are able to follow you. You're able to influence positively. You have good communication skills. You listen openly. You send convincing messages to people. You're able to move people from where they are and move them to where you want them to be. You're able to redirect them. Also, you have conflict management, negotiation, and resolving disagreement. This is where it comes to play in mediation, law, and other places. You're able to negotiate. You're able to help two parties and push them towards negotiation to resolve their dispute. You also have leadership skill. You're inspiring. You're guiding individuals and groups. You hear people say statements like, I respect you. It's because you are here. It's because you are involved. I will listen. And you are able to do that. You have good social skills with people. Yes, sir, the next slide. Okay, then also change catalysts. You're initiating or you're managing change. We say change begins with you. You're not static. You're not doing the same thing over and over again, but you're able to initiate change. You're able to manage change. You're able to build bonds. You're nurturing instrumental relationship. For a lot of us, when you check you're growing up, how many of those friendships have you been able to keep together? You see some people act like parasites. It's only when they need you. You see somebody just calls you out of the blue and say, can you help me with an urgent 2K there or something? But the person did not build bond. You didn't keep the relationship. You didn't nurture it. You know, they talked about people being your net worth is determined by your network. How can you nurture relationship? I said, when you're shutting the door on a relationship, be careful so that you don't burn the bridge. You keep the communication line open. Even if you're leaving a job, you don't need to leave it in this area or leave it in bad faith. No. You leave the bridge, you don't burn the bridge behind you. You're able to nurture instrumental relationship. I'm sure after this class, there's some people you need to go back home to call and build that relationship with them. There are some people you will need to apologize to. There are some people you need to cement your relationship and you move on. You're able to collaborate and cooperate. You're working with others towards a shared goal. You're not being an independent person. You say, no, I'm just my person. You're able to build teamwork. It doesn't matter the person's ethnic or religious background, but you're able to work as a team. You're not a tree, they say, cannot make a forest. You need people. And so people are the clothes you need to cover you up. You're also able to build team capabilities. You're creating group synergy in pursuing the collective goal of people. So we ask a question: can EI be developed? Can EI be developed? Can you go back to the last slide? The last slide. Go back to the last slide, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is where I want us to unmute. You can raise your hands up. What do you think? Can EI be developed? I've been talking since Okay, Mr. Shagun, your hands are up. What do you think? Share your thoughts with us. Can we develop EI or any other person? Jane, Khadija, can EI be developed? Let me hear your thoughts. If you can't speak, you can put it in the chat box. Can we develop EI? Madam Stella, Olayemi, Bello Mohammed, Ifoma Marianne, Blessing, Deborah, Bello, Khadija. Deborah said, yes, I think so. Okay, what are your thoughts? Can AI be developed? Yes, we need more messages from people. You can either unmute and speak or you type a message. Let me get your view. Can we develop AI? And if yes, how can we develop AI? Deborah, yes, I think so. Intellectual tutors, definitely. Okay, yes. Can AI be developed? And how can we develop AI? If it can be developed, if it's yes, how? Okay, sorry, the admin needs to unmute us. Okay, can we keep using the messages if, okay, allow me, I mean, yes, it is some you practice every day. Emmanuel, yes, it can. Okay, let's get more comments from us. Jane, yes. Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Can we move on to the next slide? Since we've all agreed that AI can be developed, we said yes, you can develop your AI. How? By upgrading your emotional skills. So the popular thinking is that AI is entirely inherited is incorrect. In fact, some of you, you know where you're coming from. So you know that thinking entirely AI can be inherited is not correct. Thank you, Mr. Sunday. We can. Emotional intelligence is not fixed at birth. There is no emotional intelligence genes as such, if they are to check your DNA, that we can know of today. It's something one has to learn. You learn it. You learn it. I'm sure that's why a lot of you are here today. So, can AI also be developed at any stage or age of personal or professional life? Is it that if you're 70, you can't develop it? The answer again is what? Yes. You can upgrade your emotional skills at any stage of your life. In fact, age and maturity are positively correlated with the EQ. You know, there's an adage that says that where a young person climbs a ladder or a hill to check, the adult or the elderly person, while seated, can already see ahead. So that's why there's a correlation that age and maturity, when gray hair, in fact, at times when you see an elderly person behaving somehow, you'll be like, this gray hair, it stands for wisdom. So there's that correlation. So same is not true about IQ, which is more or less static. Because overly time with age, you see some people begin to have dementia. You see some people begin to forget things. So while the EQ can be increased, IQ, the same cannot be said about IQ. Are we together? I guess that's a yes. Okay, let's continue. So EQ versus IQ. EQ can be developed definitely. It doesn't matter the age in life. For example, when we talked about self-awareness, when you notice that overly time, for example, some people will notice that they talk too much, and you make that intentional thing to say, okay, I don't want to talk too much. I want to change the way I do these things. You'll be able to do that. Yes, next slide, please. Application of EI. In the workplace, EI supports leadership, it enhances teamwork, it improves customer relations. Have you ever noticed when you go to a public space, a bank, for example, or somewhere, you notice that a particular teller has more queue than the other, and you're wondering, or you go to the market, you want to get something, and you notice the meat seller, he actually has more crowd than others, and you'll be wondering, what's it about this person? Is it that his product is more or better than this other person? At times when you get there, you see the relationship, the customer relations. So AI supports leadership, it enhances teamwork, it improves customer relations. In education, it supports teachers in managing the classrooms. It helps students to develop social emotional skills. You see that there's this particular teacher, almost all the student likes the teacher. Before you know, the other teachers start getting jealous and saying when parents come to visit, this is the only person they give money and everything, because the children are able to relate very well with that person. It all depends on the emotional intelligence. Again, in ADR, EI is indispensable. Mediators and arbitrators rely on empathy, neutrality, and emotional regulation to facilitate dialogue and settlement. These are the things, when you're being flexible, you're able to manage these things very well. Developing and enhancing EI. You can cultivate EI through mindfulness and reflection, coaching and mentoring, training workshops like what we're doing right now, and EI assessments, feedback mechanisms, and journaling. Leaders and professionals can improve their EI through consistent practice, emotional journaling, empathy exercises, and engaging in active listening. You engage in active listening. You listen to the person. You This is about intentionality. You're intentional about those things you do. You're mindful, you're able to reflect. You know, at times you're seated and you're able to reflect and say, okay, I made this statement earlier on. Was I supposed to make it? How did this person feel? What reaction? Was this person sensitive to this thing? You're able to coach others, you're able to mentor others. This is how you develop AI. You're able to be gentle with people. You don't just shout at people. You're able to listen to them. You're able to process. You know where people are coming from. You're able to be calm with people, to be patient with people. We're not saying no, you tolerate people's excesses, no. But you're able to be calm. You're able to know what to do at the right time. As we said, there's a time for everything and every purpose. So leaders and professionals will say can improve your EI. Constant practice. You journal it and you're able to tell yourself, oh, okay, I've made progress from where I was before and where I am. Empathy exercise, how do you do that? Somebody is speaking, you're able to show the person empathy and know that, okay, I understand where you're coming from. You've been through this traumatic experience and you're able to see things from the person's own perspective. Then also you listen to people, active listening. You don't just listen half-heartedly. So what are some of the challenges and critiques to AI? We've had critics argue that, well, AI, it's difficult to measure objectivity. It's sometimes used as a catch-all term for soft skills. Some people will tell you, you can't be a hard guy, you can't show your weakness, your vulnerability, and everything. There's also this cultural difference in emotional expressions and regulation, which affect how EI is perceived and applied. I'm sure you understand that in some cultures, you can look at an adult straight in the eyes and tell the person something. In some other cultures, looking at the adult in the eye and saying something means disrespect. So, cultural differences in emotional expression and regulation can affect EI. That's one of the challenges. You see, they say, this Gen Z generation, they are too outspoken. During our days, we couldn't tell our parents some things. So these are some of the challenges and critics to AI. So now, how do we, we talked about AI as AI or EQ assessment. So now, in carrying out an EQ test, this test was developed by Professor N.K. Chadin and Dr. Dalip Singh. The test has 22 real life situations. It has been standardized on Indian population. The test has a reliability of 0.94 and validity of 0.92. You can check the test is available online free of cost at www.equindia.com. It is used widely in research and elsewhere. So if you want to test, you can do this by assessing yourself. So when you're taking the assessment, next slide, please. When you're taking this EI assessment, you have to be as honest and as objective as you can when you respond to the following statements. Do you believe that you do the following things more than 75% of the time? If you agree, you circle yes. For example, I am aware when I start to become angry or defensive. Are you going to be objective enough to say yes or no? When I'm dealing with others' anger, I keep relaxed and goal oriented. I don't know, can we assess ourselves now? Can we quickly take this assessment? You can use the comments box. Everyone, you see the 4 questions there. So you just do number one, yes or no, number two, yes or no, number three, yes or no, and number four, yes or no. Everyone, yes, activity time. I'm aware that I start to become angry or defensive. Yes, so be very objective when you're doing this. So you, number one, in the comments box, put your name up. Number one, two, three, four. You could put a Y or a N. Y for yes, N for no. So you could put number one, N, number two, Y, number three, N, number four, Y, depending. Okay. Bello, no, don't. Okay, you can mute. You can mute, sir. Bello said number one, yes, I'm aware. Okay, that's good. Number two, Bello, is it a Y or an N? You can unmute, Mr. Noble. Stella, no. Number one, yes, I'm aware. Good. Olayami, number one, yes. Number two, yes. Number three, yes. Number four, yes. Okay, so there's no, number one. Okay, that's good. Number two, Deborah, number one, no. Okay, that's the first no we've gotten. Okay. Number two, yes. Number three, yes. Number four, yes. Number two, yes. Okay, so we have only one no for number one. Mr. Sunday, I've not seen yours yet. Mr. Sunday, I've not seen yours yet. Then Khadija, I've not seen yours also. Khadija, Mr. Sunday, have I seen that of blessing? No blessing. Mr. Sunday, Khadija, also Mr. Emmanuel. Also, I've not seen your own comments. I've seen Deborah. I've seen Deborah Mewada. I've seen Deborah Owago. I've seen Bello. Khadija, yes, 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 yes. Wow, awesome. Awesome. I hope it's objective. Oh, that's another thing.
Yes.
Yes, I'm still waiting for 3 persons. Mr. Sunday, I've not seen your answer. Khadija, I've not seen you. Okay, Khadija is here. Blessing, I've not seen yours. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Sunday, number four. What's your number four? Stella, number two. No. When I'm dealing with others' anger, keep relaxed and goal oriented. Okay. No, that's good. Thank you. Four. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. That's good. Well done, everybody. Give yourself a virtual clap. Virtual clap for everybody. Can I see your virtual clap? Okay. So You're aware when you start becoming angry. That's what we'll talk about, self-awareness, self-motivation. Okay, thank you. Next slide, please. Aha. So let's continue. 5 to 9. Well, you can actually unmute now. Anyone that wants to unmute. Mr. Sunday, do you want to speak? Your hands are up. Or is that a virtual clap or your hand is up?
Hey, my
Number 5, despite setbacks and problems, you can actually speak. If you want to speak, you can unmute. Anyone that wants to speak, you can speak. Let's answer number 5 to 9. Despite setbacks and problems, I continue to work on projects in a calmer manner. Deborah Mewada, this is your number one to, is it not? Okay, so let's do number 5 to 9. Number 6, I use positive thinking even when I am in a conflict or in a difficult situation. Let's be objective. Number 7, I can feel and see things from another viewpoint. Number 8, before I make a decision or take an action, I listen to others' ideas. So ask people in your office. So number 9, when I communicate with others, I help them feel good. Stella, number 5 is a no. Despite setback, I continue to work on projects. Thank you for being very objective, Stella. Thank you. Yes, who else? Deborah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, who else?
Number
One more.
five.
Bello. Where is
Number
yours?
yes.
Emmanuel.
Number five.
Dija.
Sometimes,
Blessing.
despite sometimes the
Mr.
setback, I
Sunday.
continue to work.
But
Yes, I do
some
that.
gets because okay. Yes, let's see other people's comments. Bello, are you with us?
Yes, ma.
Alayami, all yes. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Khadija, 5, no. 6, yes. 7, no. 8, yes. 9, no. Khadija, you don't make others feel good. I like you. Stella, 6, no. I use positive thinking even when I'm in a conflict or difficult situation. For those of you saying yes, okay, we'll come and test you in your offices and in your homes. Okay. Bello, all yours is yes. That's
No,
interesting.
no, not yet. Not yet.
Sunday, yes, yes. 7, no. I can feel and see things from other viewpoints. Okay, yes. Intellectual tutors, 5, no. It's not easy. Yes, but we can work towards it. Yes, yes, yes. Number 9, when I help them feel good. No. Okay, Bello, 5, no. Oh, interesting. Bello said no, 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 no. Bello is trying to be different. Yeah, Khadija is about telling the truth, whether the person wants to hear it or not. That's so, as in give it to them as in they hot share. Okay, thank you, Khadija. Thank you, Bello. Thank you, Sunday. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Liami. Thank you, Bello Mohammed. Thank you all for, and thank you, intellectual tutors also. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Thank you all for your participation. Next slide, please. 10 to 15. To solve conflicts, I encourage honest and respectful discussion. Yes or no? Let's continue. Number 11, I help people who hold different opinions to reach agreement. When I'm making changes, I consider the feelings of others. Now, so let's see. 13, I am aware of when I start to use negative thinking. thinking. I practice stress management to be calm and healthy. 15. I have a good sense of humor. Oh, I'm too fast. Oh, sorry. Sorry. But you can actually take this down. Okay, please take from 10. Okay. No, I thought you were looking at it on the slide. I was just reading it. Just go ahead, read yours and put yours in the comments box. Number 10, to solve conflicts, I encourage honest and respectful discussion. Oh, okay. From number 10, to solve conflicts, I encourage honest and respectful discussion. Is it a yes or a no? When you are angry, number 10, okay, to solve conflict, I encourage honest and respectful discussion. Or you just want to give it to the person hot, as if they hot, you're giving them, dropping it there. Do you encourage honest and respectful discussion? Or do you even discuss it at all? Or you want to avoid it? That's another thing. Some people don't even want to, you just want to avoid it. But if you keep avoiding it, you keep locking it up, the day it goes boom, it escalates and you're not able to solve conflicts. I encourage honest and respectful discussions. Stella said yes. Deborah said yes. Mr. Sunday, what's yours? Bello, Mohammed, Blessing, Bello. Number 10, yes. Okay, to solve conflicts. 11, no. I help people who hold different opinions to reach agreement. So, Bello, it's not your business if they hold different opinion. They should reach the agreements themselves. Okay. Mr. Sunday, number 10, yes. Okay. Olayami, number 10, yes. Jane, yes. Okay. 11, where I help people who hold different opinion to reach agreements. That's a no. Okay. I help people who hold different opinions to reach agreements. Truthfully and honestly, if somebody holds a different opinion, in your heart you feel, this person, you're not for me, you're against me. Stella, no. Thank you for the honesty. Thank you. There's a feeling you get after you've discussed something and you feel okay, everybody will support your cause, and somebody just comes and say no. Can be this feeling of, oh, okay. In fact, remember there was a guy in one of our holy books in the Bible. When they refused to take his advice, what happened? He went to kill himself. You can see how bad. So, okay. By 11, no. 12, when I'm making changes, I consider the feelings of others. When I'm making changes, I consider the feeling of others. Number 12, Khadija said no, thank you. 12, Jane says yes. Sunday says yes. Stella says yes. I think Bello said no. Where is Bello's on 12? Bello said no. Olayemi said yes. Deborah says sometimes, oh, that's so. So when I'm making change, I consider the feeling of some people like, I don't care what anybody feel. Now waiting in my mind, I go do.
Yes,
And
so
the person just goes ahead to do that. Okay, thank you everyone. Then number 13, I am aware of when I start to use negative thinking. Yes or no? Why are these answers yes or no? Oh, you can't stay in the middle now. Is either you're hot or you're no. Can you take warm coffee? Warm coffee is not, doesn't taste so nice. 13, yes, Sunday, you're aware when you start to use negative thinking. Thank you. You will score yourself at the end, though. So I hope you're writing your answers down. You score yourself at the end. So please make sure you have a pen and a paper. Look at all your answers from number one answers down because we'll score ourselves at the end. Everybody start write your answers down. So number 14, you say I practice stress management to be calm and healthy. Yes or no? Number 13, number 14, I practice stress management to be calm and healthy. Khadija, yes. Jane, sometimes. If you have sometimes too, you can put your sometimes there too. But make sure you have it written down. Are we all doing that? Sunday, yes. Stella, not always. Okay. We'll be scoring ourselves very soon. Then number 15, I have a good sense of humor. Yes or no? Intellectual tutors, okay? Everybody make sure you write it down on a sheet of paper. Deborah, yes. Yes, Deborah, I can attest to that. Megeri, you have a good sense of humor. Yes or no, number 15. Sunday, yes. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, everyone, well done, well done. Virtual clap for you all, virtual clap for you all. So can we score ourselves? Do you have your answers written down on a sheet of paper? If there is a yes, can I have your thumbs up? Is that a yes? Do you have your answers on a sheet of paper? If you're on video, let me see your thumbs up. If not, let me see your virtual thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Belo. Mr. Sunday, can I see your thumbs up? You have it written on paper. Khadija, blessing. I've not seen any answer apart from Velo. Okay, so can we go ahead to score? Okay, Mr. Sunday. Let's go to the next slide. Let's call the assessment. So how many times did you circle yes? Count how many times you circled yes and write that down. Number 13 to 15 is very high. 10 to 12 is high. 7 to 9 is average. 4 to 6 below average. 1 to 3 far below average. So the overall assessment of your current emotional intelligence is as follows. Let's see how many times you circled yes. Everybody, you put how many times you circled yes. So if you're being very objective, if it is in the middle, okay, there is no, okay, Olayemi 12, that's good. That's high. High for you, Olayemi. Okay, Sunday, 13 to 15. Okay, who next? Deborah. Deborah M. Khadija. Yes. For others, Belo, I've not seen yours. Emmanuel, I've not seen yours. Belo, 8 to 10. Average. 13 to 15 is very high. 10 to 12 is high. And 7 to 9 is average. Okay, Stella. Stella, 10 is high. Okay. Emmanuel, I've not seen your score. Khadija, have you turned in? Yes. Deborah, yes. Sunday, yes. Alayami. Who else? Intellectual tutors, I've not seen yours. Okay, so 13 to 15 is very high. Sorry, I lost you. Oh, Emmanuel. Sorry. I hope. Okay, probably if the slides are shared with you, I'm sure you'll be able to see. Oh, network. Guys, don't mind them. It is well with you. But you could just follow through the scores of the assessments. Probably maybe after the class, Mr. Gabriel will share with you so that you can assess yourself. So assess your current strength and weakness. Each of the 15 statements listed in the assessment on the previous page reflects your emotional skill level in one of five emotional intelligence skill category. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so we said each of the 15 statements listed in the assessment on the previous page reflect your emotional skill level in one of five emotional intelligence skill category. Your self-awareness, your social skills, your optimism, your emotional control, your flexibility. So to interpret your score in each group, match each yes you circled in the previous list with each yes in the following table. Be sure to circle each yes across the row for each statement. So we said from the number 1 to 15, there's self-awareness, there's social skills, there's optimism, emotional control, and flexibility. It's all about assessing yourself at the end of the day. So it's something, we said, can emotional intelligence be improved upon? And we said, yes, you can improve upon it. It doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter how. We even said it's even with age you even grow to assess your own strengths and you're able to be aware of what your personality. Okay, can we move ahead? Next slide. So, in conclusion, emotional intelligence is a vital competence for navigating both personal and professional life. As workplace and society becomes more complex, which it's getting to be, and interconnected, the ability to manage your emotions, empathize with others, and build effective relationship is more important than ever. There are a lot of times you might not be happy about it, but at the end of the day, you'll be happy that you stayed calm. Say everyone is praising Jigar today that despite everything, he was calm. They said two wrongs can never make it right. One person can be shouting and they're also shouting. So, with what you've learned tonight, you have lost the ability to, you can get angry, yes, but you'll be able to control yourself. You're not to behave like how every other person on the streets behave. You're able, people may call it pride. At times they'll say, oh, you think so highly of yourself and the rest. No, it's about emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. So cultivating EI is not only possible, but it's very essential for growth, for leadership, for lasting impact. There are some responsibilities that will not be given to you. You hear people say things like, that one that cannot control himself or his family is that type of person that wants to control a particular organization. So emotional intelligence can be the game changer to high performance and personal leadership. Sorry, please, can we take the assessment again, Jane? Okay. This is why I say thank you for listening. So that's a question, Jane. Can we take the assessment again? Okay, I guess we can. I guess we can take the assessment again. So can we go back? Jane is asking for it, and Emmanuel is asking for it. We can take it again. So let's go back. Let's go back. Go back. Go back to the first assessment. No? Yes, number one. So let's take it from beginning again. Okay, so you choose a Y or an N. Jane and Emmanuel. Every other person, you can actually try it again. You said be as honest and objective as you can when you respond to the following statement. Do you believe that you do the following things more than 75% of the time? If you agree, circle yes. Number one, I am aware when I start to become angry or defensive. Is that a why or a no? Let's go. Emmanuel and Jane. Let me see your answers. Number one, Emmanuel and Jane. Let's go ahead. Or any other person that wants to try. Emmanuel, yes. So you are aware when you start to become angry or defensive. Make sure you have a sheet of paper and pen where you write it down. That's a yes, okay? Jane, I've not seen your answer. Yes. Deborah, yes. Okay. Jane, I've not seen your answer yet, Jane. Or Bello, do you want to take it all over again? You can
No, ma.
actually take it over again. Jane, number one, yes. Number two, sometimes. Three, yes. Four, yes. Okay. Emmanuel, you can go ahead to number two. When I'm dealing with others' anger, I keep relaxed and goal oriented. Number three, I remain cheerful and enjoy working with new ideas. Number four, I follow through on assignments, support others, and build trust. Yes. Okay. Okay. Emmanuel. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Make sure you're writing it down. Okay. So can we move on to the next one if you're done with this? Okay. So number five to number nine. Despite setback and problems, I continue to work on projects in a calm manner. Yes or no? Number six, I use positive thinking even when I'm in a conflict or in a difficult situation. Yes or no? Hello? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. So make sure you're taking it down. Number seven, I can feel and see things from another viewpoint. Yes or no? Number eight, before I make a decision or take an action, make sure you're writing it down for the overall assessment. Number eight, let's answer number eight very, very objectively. Before I make a decision or take an action, I listen to others' idea. Yes or no? Number nine, when I communicate with others, I help them feel good. Like I feel good. Da 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 da. I know that I can now. That's Malta Guinness Go. Okay, so are we done with this? Can we move on to the next one? Yes, sometimes. Deborah, it's a yes or no, not sometimes. There is no this thing for sometimes here. There's no S. It's either a Y or a no. So if it's sometimes, probably you tilt towards no instead. Uh-huh. So give us a Y or a N, not S. There's no option for S here. So number 10, to solve conflicts, I encourage honest and respectful discussion. Number 11, I help people who hold different opinions to reach agreement. Number 12, when I'm making changes, I consider the feeling of others, or I'm like, that's your business. Whatever you want to do, do it. I will do what is in my mind to do. So, do you consider people's feeling? Then 13, I'm aware of when I start to use negative thinking. Okay. Then number 14, I practice stress management to be calm and healthy. I say breathe out. Don't worry, we'll come and ask in your office and your homes. Some of you that are saying yes, 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 yes. We'll come and ask your spouses and your children to see if it's yes or no. Then number 15, I have a good sense of humor. Bello, do you have a good sense of humor?
Yes.
Hey, yes, Deborah. Bello, do you have a good sense of humor? Ah, number 15 is yes. Okay, that's nice. Stress management, no. Emmanuel, absolutely. That's so. It's absolutely one of the options. Okay, so can we score the assessment? Let's go to the next slide, please. So, how many times did you circle yes? Jane and Emmanuel. How many times did you circle yes? Count it now on your sheets. How many times you circled yes, and how many times you circled no? Count how many times you circled yes and how many times you circled no. For 10 plus 1 sometimes. Okay, so Emmanuel, Bello, total yes 13, total no 2. Okay, so count, okay. We said 13 to 15 is very high. So Bello, you've suddenly gone very high from average. Bello, the last one you did, the last test you did was 8, average. From 8, you've gone to very high. Bello, what happened? Were you being objective? Jane, yes, 10. No, 5. Okay, so Jane, yours is high. 10 to 12, 7 to 9 is average. 10 to 12 is high. 13 to 15 is very high. So for Jane, you have Jane is high. Bello, this is your reports. I don't believe this is your test you took again. No. How come the thing suddenly changed? I have to go back and read myself again. Actually, I think so. Well done, Bello. Well done. Where is Emmanuel 13? Okay, that's very high, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, that's very high for you. Then the other Deborah, I saw the other, okay. Deborah Onwogo, Deborah N. How many years in total? I circled for 10 times. Wow, that's very high. That's very high. Okay, so Bello, we have to go back because Bello initially had 8. Bello first, 8, and Bello second. Bello second was 13. I have become clearly aware of my emotional intelligence and what I'm expected to do. Great, awesome, awesome, everyone. So I hope every one of us have been able to have an idea. I'm sure you knew almost everything we said before, but it's just remember we said there's no age limit. You can always improve. With over time, I've learned to be calmer. I've learned to listen to people more. You're not being foolish, no. You're not being a coward, no. And I've seen that it has actually drawn more people to yourself. In fact, I will give you this testimony. I was the first female secretary of MBA Kaduna branch. In my year of call, initially it had been all men. So imagine myself, I'm a woman, I'm not even from the north, and I was able, you imagine the secretary is the powerhouse of the organization. And after that, I was thinking I will go and rest. They now told me to run for vice chairman, and we concluded election on Wednesday, and I came out of a role. The person that was contesting with me was over 30 years post call, and I'm just 14 years post call. So I've learned over time that it's your personality, you're able to listen to people, you're able to sacrifice. As I keep telling people, you make a lot of sacrifices. It's seeds you're sowing. For most of us that have little farms and gardens, you throw tomato water, pepper water. You don't see them during the dry season, but during rainy season, you just see things popping up and growing, and you're wondering, when did I ever plant this? So do not keep tired. Keep sowing that seed of encouragement into people's life. Keep being the best you can be. You'll definitely get it back. Karma always has a way of coming back to do things. So some of the things you've even forgotten, so people will tell you, you did this for me. And you're like, oh, when? I can't even remember. Some people is just giving them a listening ear. I remembered one of my bosses one day. This is like a senior man, top man, and he just felt like talking that day. And he just began to express himself, say a lot of things. And I just allowed him speak. I allowed him open up and express. And at the end of the day, he said, thank you. That it's been actually very therapeutic for him. And he sent me, was it 100K or 150K, just for listening to him. So we see that it pays. At first, it might not look as if anything is happening, but over time, you reap it, you draw people to yourself, you get people to, you be a people's people, you get in the middle of people. So that's one of the reward I have found out. It's not about IQ only. It's about emotional intelligence, being able to handle people. People feel you are approachable. So we said emotional intelligence is a vital competence for navigating both your personal and your professional life. At workplace, society becomes more complex and interconnected. Ability to manage our emotions, empathize with others, build effective relationship, it's more important than ever. Then don't burn those bridges. Build them. Even if you have a disconnect with somebody, even if you're closing the door on a relationship, close it gently because there might be a need to revisit. So I'll challenge each and every one of us as a pattern word. Those bridges you've burnt, there are some people you need to apologize to. There are some people you need to call. Just check up on them. Show some love and everything. I'm sure you're thinking about those people right now. Friends, past in the past, people you used to be very close to. Do not allow success take you away from those that really matters. You know, we have some friends that are closer than brothers. Those that were there for you in time of need. Go back there. So thank you all very much for listening. Emotional intelligence can be the game changer to high performance for you. Thank you for listening and participating. I appreciate you all. Mwah.